Yo, this is King Be the God, and welcome to OnSight.
Hey, Brody.
What's up, man?
My God, let me thank you for welcoming me to Georgia, into your home. See, it's usually me that's bringing people into my home to shoot these interviews, but we flipped it. That's how special it was for me to get this interview from you. So
yes,
thank you first and foremost.
Anytime, man. You family, bro.
I'll briefly go to it because I don't want to make this interview too long. We've been making these joints kind of lengthy sometimes, but we met in 2009, I believe it was.
2009.
In Atlanta.
2008, 2009.
2008, 2009 in Atlanta.
Yeah, Club Vinyl.
Club Vinyl, a contest for disc makers.
Facts.
You were one of the finalists in that competition. I forgot what you won for that package, but
I didn't actually win some. It was mainly a rock for like rock bands and country bands, but I still made an imprint though.
That's what matters. That's what matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
That's what matters the most. You made an imprint. All right. So
Shout out to Michael Dunaway, Pace Magazine. Been my fan ever since. Been a fan of me ever since, and me a fan of him. So thanks, Mike.
Absolutely. See, that's how it goes. See, we met at that event, and I just out the gate, your energy on stage was just so electrifying. I was like, I have to know this dude. So I made sure I linked up with you, contacted, and we've been networked ever since. So
right,
I mean, it's a beautiful thing. When I met you then in Atlanta, you were Mr. 757.
Mr. 757. Hood City Entertainment. Shout out to the guys, you know. Regardless of what has transpired, you know, I never take that away from history, you know what I mean? We did a lot of good things. So shout out to Sean Ford. Shout out to the original members, Kojak and Bones, man. Shout out to y'all.
Okay, cool. And then, you know, later on.
And Gutter, sorry. Gutter.
Oh yeah, let's not forget, because when I met you at that show, Gutter was your hype man, if I recall.
He was an artist. He hyped me up, bringing me out, but he also had like, you know, I always include everybody. I threw him in there. He did like 2 records. Steph B, shout out to Smoke Corleone, Chinchilla, Stanley, and all the guys. Man, it was a dope event, man.
Dope. Okay. Time went on, and you became A. Brody.
Yeah, I just went back to the government, man.
you were yourself.
I got tired of all those.
Period.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that album a little later on in the interview.
Right.
But now the new name, King Be the God.
Right.
So break down the name for us. Explain to us how you came up with this particular point in your life, this particular name.
For one, everybody always called me King. You know, it was a little bit natural, and I got a king complex anyway. I'm not nothing like Charlemagne the God, so please don't write me off, y'all. You know what I mean? King is in my DNA. Everything I do is on a royal level. It got to be the biggest thing. I'm not gonna do it. So King B and the God part, you know, we all are gods. You know what I mean? So nothing deep. I just put that on the King. And I just been rolling with it ever since. Came up with it like a year ago.
Okay, cool. You've been King Be the God for the last year. You've been releasing records up under that moniker.
Yeah.
Dope. Now we recently completed an interview. And we gonna go here with the big homie Rob Young, who has ties.
Shout out to my brother.
Shout out to the big homie, the OG from the Sandtrap, Rob Young.
Right.
And me and Rob Young went in on you a little bit in that interview.
I heard, bro.
Because you know, Rob has been, I know, a big part of helping you put this project together.
Huge piece to the puzzle.
Right, and you know, I don't know. I think you might have even, I don't know if you networked with some producers, but I know you went worldwide with this project. You got production from around the globe.
Yeah, from Nigeria to freaking Philly to Orlando. Man, the list goes on and on. There's all types of producers on there. People that I've rocked with through the years, through other projects that we'll speak on later.
All types of producers all around the world.
Oh, I'm gonna shout them out. I'll shout y'all out because y'all deserve it. Shout outs to Nick G out of Pittsburgh, I believe Pittsburgh/Philly. Shout out to Ryan out of Orlando. Ryan Christian, R. Christian. Shout out to Marco Solo. He's out of Tallahassee, but he lives in Jacksonville. He has like 85%, 90% of the records come from him. He's the one that really believed early. Shout out to Mike Bell from other projects. That's my brother.
Mike Bell, yes sir, yes sir.
Man, I'm gonna forget a lot of names, man. There's so many producers, singer-songwriters, and Rob just did a lot of writing. Not a lot of writing, but a lot of collabing with me and giving me ideas on the project as well, as far as direction to make the songs make sense. So
right,
there's a lot of people involved, and forgive me if I didn't say your name.
So with all that said, all of these people that have contributed to this great body of work, I have one question.
What does that question say?
When are we gonna get the body of work?
Man, hey, I don't have no answer for that.
You've released. I'm privileged, so I'm a little bit biased in this situation too.
Right.
I'm encouraging the world to tap in because I've heard a lot of these records.
Yes, sir.
A lot of these records that you haven't released yet. So that's why I'm asking this question. And me and Rob, I think we're on the same wave.
Right. It's a perfectionist thing, a complex that I've had for so many years. I've always did everything by myself. And so my excuse is always, I don't have the dollars for the marketing to do it perfectly and yada, yada, yada. I always want to do things perfectly. So that's what's been delaying. But currently, Rob Young is mixing the album.
That's the greatest thing I've heard. I'm glad Rob Young is mixing the album. Okay,
he's mixed several of them. Several of them haven't been done. It's just that last five.
That overall, so you're putting the finishing touches. And I will say this: from the projects that you have released, I definitely can tell that level of perfection that you strive for in everything that you do.
Right.
And I think that's big.
I think you hit it right on the head. That's been, now that you said that, it makes more sense in my head, and I can be more rational that way. You know what I mean? Basically, that KR album and Kingdom Restoration album I've done, the bar was set so high. It's like, good God, like I'm not about to rush a record out, but it's almost 3.5 years and I'm still sitting on a record.
Right.
So it is about that time before people start tapping in with me, man. I'm gonna go ahead and release that project, but we down to our last 5 songs.
Okay.
Getting mixed between Rob Young and DJ Nick G out of Pittsburgh. They're gonna wrap that album up for me.
There was a time period in your musical journey to where you did the Christian rap or the Christian hip hop thing.
Yeah.
How much of that time period reflects the current situation or the current state of the way you make music right now? How does that correlate?
I don't want to be extra deep, man. Spiritually, man, I'm always tapped in. I need to be more tapped in because a lot of things transpired being fully locked in to my spirituality during that time. They got me in all these other places, and even where I am now, all of it correlates like your question states. You know what I mean? But basically, nothing has really changed. I still speak the same messages in my songs. I always had a message, even when I did Birth of a Legend, not to go all over the place. Before Kingdom Restoration,
right,
I've always had a spiritual everything that's been the center of my music, my whole life or whole career, as you may say. So nothing has changed. I have different ideologies now based on my growth in spirituality, not religion. You know what I mean? So some of the things go against what some of my fans or previous fans know me for. Some of the stuff they might not agree, but I'm hoping that they respect me.
All right, so you open the door, and we'll go ahead and walk through it. Kingdom Restoration.
Yes, sir.
Now this album, I'm not gonna say it was definitely not your greatest piece of work, but definitely your largest or your biggest campaign, in my opinion,
right,
to date. Like, you had a lot of steam behind that record, or that album, excuse me, not just that record. I know personally, I shot or helped you complete 4 visuals off of that album.
Oh yeah, man. The biggest one was Wretch Like Me.
Wretch Like Me,
that's
yes.
with shout out to Mike Bell.
That is my joint too, Wretch.
Shout out to Mike Bell for delivering the biggest record on that album, basically. That got me all over the country with that record. So,
but I mean, not even including the Wretch album, you had some classics on there. Don't forget about the Agape Love.
Oh yeah, Mike Bell again.
2 different versions. Like, that record was so huge. What caused you to remix the joint? Like, you had the jazz version, and you had the.
Shout out to Paul. She gonna kill me for forgetting her name.
Oh, bro, this was OnSight. This is on the spot.
Forgive me. I'm
all
having
of these
a brain
questions
fart.
came on the spot. You have no clue of what I'm asking, because I have no clue.
Long story short, Mike Bell had his hands on the record, and he was like, "It's something missing musically, and it's not making sense. I think we should try another avenue. I don't want to come to you with a problem without having a solution for it. I can't do it, but let me take it to James. Don't forgive me again. It's been years since your name was brought up, so I know it's James, the first name." He took it to James, and boom, he's a master musician. I think he's from Cali, and he played every instrument on it, every drum, every horn, every break you hear in there. That one-man band did that record. He sent it back to me. I was like, wow, let's go.
Nice.
Shout out to Mom Monet for bringing that the vibe all the way through. She took my words and turned into a masterpiece. She actually added her little thing in there, and it's a hit. That's
definitely a hit.
Might be the biggest record on there.
Definitely a hit.
Wretch Like Me is right there with it.
Definitely a hit.
But,
and I mean, and one of my personal favorites from that album was Broken Wings. So,
Mike Bell again.
Mike Bell was a huge influence on the Kingdom Restoration album?
What? Was he? It was like we was locked in. It wasn't no questioning, second guessing. All right, this is what we're going to do with this. It was nothing but confidence, and we didn't fear the unknown. It was like, whatever, you know.
Right.
I wish I had those emotions and that zest and that, whatever you call it, that punch that I had, not fighting me I had then, I wish I had it now. But releasing the records, because I had no resources at all. It was one record at a time leading you to the album.
Right.
So it was a good time. Shout out to Mike Bell.
Good deal. That helps build up that anticipation for whenever you decide to release the King Be the God album. So let's talk about that one now. Let's dig deep into that one, because you've already released several singles.
Yes.
That I'm hoping end up making that album, even if they don't. They're already out. So let's talk about some of those monumental records. Let's start with the big one, in my opinion, Rap Gods.
Oh.
And this is a big one because you pay a lot of homage, a lot of respect to some of the greats in the game. And I also feel like at the same time you knocking, you telling them, look, I am here.
I'm here.
Right.
That was okay, you call yourself King Be the God. You know nobody's gonna have any mercy on you. So you gotta go all the way in and look forward. So I was like, yo, I am me. You know what I mean? I am King Be the God, period. You know what I mean? But I also can't fake. Because you hear all the people that have influenced me in my music, if you listen real closely, you don't have to be the smartest or sharpest tool in the shed to understand that I came up on Jay-Z, I came up on Pac, Biggie, and Nas, you know, just to name a few greats, but I'm an assimilation of all these people, the DMXs and all of that. So on Rap Gods, to bring it all together, on Rap Gods, I paid homage to them by like putting some of them in the ad-libs or whatever on the hook, and just channeling their spirits in the record to make it upbeat, hip-hop, still current, without reaching too much, and just sticking to my base and sticking to what I know, you know, and that's lyricism. So I brought it the best way I could and delivered what that record dictated to me, and that's how we got Rap Gods. And shout out to Nick G in Pittsburgh. He created that record, and that's going to be a huge record and a huge visual.
It's definitely a huge
I believe
record.
you'll be shooting too. So.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait till we get started on that one.
We got to bring out all the stuff.
I'm not even going to peep them because we've discussed the idea for that record, which we'll talk about off interview
as
well. But that's definitely a big one. And then another one that's like saying I am right here is the mumble rap record.
Ooh, you took it back.
The mumble rap.
You feel like that's one of the big ones? Okay.
Like the mumble. See, I think the mumble rap record.
It's still relevant.
It's relevant because of the way the game changes,
right?
And how what we came up on, and what hip hop ultimately was born off of, which was lyricism, which was being able to control the mic or keep the crowd engaged with the words. Right.
Go ahead, sir. I ain't mean to cut you off.
I mean, you good. Not necessarily, just riding a beat. Now, I'm not knocking.
No, I was about to get to that. I'm
not knocking any of the artists that have created a style and
please listen to that, yo.
Created,
we are not haters.
Their career off of that cadence. But the whole you have no substance in these records. That's the thing that gets me.
Right. So that's what the record was built off. But I did my best. I started out with Pimp C in the record. One of his interviews, it was a clip of one of his interviews he did in Atlanta before he passed away. That'll tell you a lot too. Right. And it's just like I agree. That's how that song started. I believe that there's no substance. People ain't talking about nothing. Ain't nothing that's sticking to your bones. It's like here today and going tomorrow type stuff. And if you're gonna do it, have balance. That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying don't do it. I love Lil Baby and a bunch of artists. I'm not gonna just be pick and choose. I love a lot of artists. I don't have hip hop has its moments and years for me. You know what I mean? It was a year where Busta Rhymes was my favorite. It was a year where Eminem was my favorite. It's a year with three groups at one time is my favorite. It just hip hop has its stages. Everybody gets a shot at it. You know what I mean? It's like what you do with it. And I have so much respect for the game. I can't let people be one dimensional. Man, do it all the way, the right way, which is balance. Or don't do it at all, man. The garbage that we're doing is only setting us up for failure. And the people that's like putting this music out consistently and one-sidedly, they're making all the money off it. Don't even listen to the music, and we're laughable to them because we're not balancing it. So that's all I'm saying in mumble rap is the balance. Because I gave props to the Migos in the third verse. I say, get them boys, they publishing at the time they were going through it. That's how old that record is, but it's still relevant. True. So I gave people their props, man. We gonna do this, do it all the way on our stuff, and just don't do it for money. Because most of these people are doing these styles and following these trends because they feel like they're gonna get the bread. And it's like, where the hell are these youngins getting all this bread from? Like, really show me. Don't show me on a video. Right. I want to see your life add up like that. Like the Afro-beat artists that we see that really own their stuff. Do you guys really own your stuff? And maybe not.
But then they don't pay attention to the interviews that Rush dropped when he gives that knowledge saying, half of these rappers and all of this stuff that you see in these cats are They're not really doing that.
Yeah, you living, looking at them, thinking your life, like J. Cole said, there's no such thing as a life better than yours. Drake says, the prophet Drake says, everybody dies, but not everybody lives. You know,
true indeed.
You're thinking that your life is horrible because you made $30,000 a year. But do you know? Little do you know, a rapper probably doesn't even make that. The average rapper don't even make that. That's signed. Just because you get signed doesn't mean anything.
Truth indeed.
It's a bank.
Truth indeed.
Record labels are a bank, but I'm getting too deep.
I don't know if it's officially, I feel like it is, officially the lead single for the King Be The God album is So Simple.
It was.
It was.
When it came out.
It was. Okay.
It was when it came out. I really don't know. That might be a fan thing. I might do it before I drop it. Do a tally or something.
I think you should. Absolutely.
But shout out to Tim Doss, man. May you rested in peace.
You know we got to talk about Tim for a moment.
Man, yeah.
Tim for a moment. I was blessed to be able to meet Tim.
Right.
And privileged to work with Tim on those records during that time. I know y'all got some music together. So what's the situation with that? Like,
yeah, after everything gets tightened up with the King Be The God album, and before the old Rookie album and all that stuff come out, I'm gonna release a single called We Through to test the waters with that. I already released one record to test it out. 2 records that we did, but really the record that I did to test the waters was the Dreaming record. It's really no bite because it wasn't consistent promotion. But the next record that you're gonna hear from us is gonna be We Through. We got like 10 records. And there's a lot of other records I got my hands on. But the family's wishes, if they let me release them, I'll release them as well.
Dope. I think that's important to keep the legacy alive, the music going, the voice alive.
Right.
Because we see it a lot of times, these great artists, you know, even on the mainstream level, they get taken away from us a lot too soon.
Right.
They have a very positive message, and Tim definitely had one. He was an unbelievable talent. So
that was a reason for a huge delay in this King Be The God. I just had before I met him, I was kind of on the fence already. Lying to people and lying to myself, talking about I'm still into music. I was totally thrown off. After leaving Florida with the the Kingdom Restoration album, I was burnt out, man, spiritually, just period, man. I was going through a bunch of things, and music was the last thing really in my mind, but I kept doing a song here 1 month and 4-month delay after that, and just kept dibbling and dabbling. I really wasn't in it, but this guy kept worrying me to death. LaShawn, my big bro from Wisconsin, shout out to Duke, as we call him. He said, man, this guy, I want you to, he about to get out of prison. I want, no pun, we just telling the real story, keeping it real. He's about to get out of prison. I need you to meet him. Yo, he do music, and he showed me some YouTube joints on him. I'm like, man, in my head, I'm like, man, what is this? It was like 2008 or something, you know what I mean? It wasn't who he was when we actually met. I'm like, okay, he was just brushing him off like a little brother, but he, my big brother, he older than me.
Right.
And he kept worrying me to death about it. Man, I need you to come to my house and see him. And then I guess I got his phone number, and we talked, we hit it off, and then we met at LaShawn's house, and we was inseparable since then. Like everything we do, he want to record on every song. If anybody know Tim, you cannot tell him no. He ain't taking no. Don't even let it come out your mouth. He's gonna ride you. He's gonna be on every song, singing or telling you how you should rap on your record. And I loved it. He was a pain in the butt, but I missed that, bro. Like we was locked in. Them 10-hour studio sessions at a time. Me getting out of surgery, first day, second day, he taking me in a walker to the studio, and I can't barely walk after an elevator accident. The second day after surgery, you want to go to the studio and record. I just felt like he knew. You know, he was on borrowed time, so I just respect all that about him, and I'm getting like goosebumps talking about it, man.
That's how we keep that. That's
really,
how we keep the energy and the legacy and the name alive, by talking about it and letting other people experience, so they go out and seek that music out and do the same thing.
Right. Real good dude, man. Gonna always honor your legacy, bro. I'm gonna keep pushing them records. in your name, man. No matter if it's 10 songs or 5 songs, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm always gonna promote them like they brand new. You ain't gotta worry about it. I think I've done enough to show you from wherever you at watching us that, you know, I ain't forgot about you.
That's it.
Neither has your family.
Absolutely. Shout out to 10 Dogs. Let's talk about this drip you got on, because I see the King B, the God on the shirt. Yeah, we waiting on, you got the album on the fit.
I got
so you got some partnerships with some clothing or something going on. Talk to me about that.
First off, shout out to my homeboy, a Kofi, designer from Nigeria. This is my baby, my brand. This is actually was custom made from his brand, to be truthful. But this is what sparked the GGP line, the Goats, Gods, and Pharaohs line. After he did this, he said, I think you should do clothing. Your image is dope, your style is dope, your swag is, your taste is dope, and you do music, so it'd be easily promoted. Right. If you cross
Fashion
promote.
and music have always intertwined.
I was like, man, I ain't thinking about, bro, I could barely get this music out. You know what I mean? I'm always in my head, not seeing, my perception is kind of warped. When you're doing multiple things, you're in the middle of construction in your home, and you know what I'm saying? You doing all this stuff. I'm not thinking about no clothes, bro. I'm like, how do you even do that, bro? I know we don't need stores anymore because we have online, and I'm a rapper, so that's easy. I don't need a store. I can just do e-commerce. So it was in my head. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, bro. Just send me them clothes, man. We good. You know, I wouldn't really think about it, but he kept, I would say ideas, and he'd come back with solutions. Like, boom, all right, you should say Goats, Gods, and Pharaoh. Here's the Oshun and all these gods. He was showing me these pictures from. He's like, I can draw this on that. And he just kept putting everything together for me. So I'm like, Then I showed my wife 2 or 3 of the outfits, and she was like, yo, you gotta do it. Like, I ain't playing around with it. I'm fully locked into it. Like, I need to touch clothes and touch fabrics and all of that. Everything can't come from where he's at.
Right. You don't want it to be like the stuff that we get drop shipped from China.
It's like corny, you know what I mean? When we compete, we gonna do it. And
true indeed.
We'll see where it takes us. But shout out to the homie of Kofi, you know, the designer. This is what he go by on Instagram. But this guy is always positive and always coming with solutions. Never any excuses. Pays attention to detail, and his wife is awesome too. They're both designers. Beautiful family in Nigeria that we'll be visiting soon. But the Ghost Garden Pharaoh line, this is one of the outfits. This is my personal outfit. You can't get this one, but we can hook you up. And that's Kofi's line as far as this. But the GGP line, you'll see a lot of things coming soon.
Fashion from Nigeria, you got production from Nigeria, you working with collaborations from artists from out in that area. Like, what's going on?
I manifested this, and I ended up trying to get Davido, or DeVito as they call him. I ended up running into a guy named Miku through my sister in Cali, Quita. And we did a record called Crazy, which started it off. And it really was an R&B rap record. He just of Nigerian descent, not an Afro-beat artist. He'd kill me if I put him in a box. But it gives me that vibe. I wrote it in Virgin Islands, so that started it. And then I was like, no, this ain't it, man. I need the same music to have an Afro-beat to it. And Miku connected me with Flip Tice out of Nigeria. We started working on the Crazy remix, which he did the Afrobeat, and I loved it. And now we have a record coming out at the end of this month called A Part of Me, featuring Chichi Saraya. The record belongs to Flip Tice, and King Be the God is on there as well. I said my name in third person, but you know what I meant. That wasn't on purpose. Sorry, y'all. But that song is coming out, and I have several records with Chad Keys. He's not an Afrobeat artist, but he's starting to venture off in other genres as well. So we're working on a project as well. So I got like 4 or 5 projects working at one time. But King Be the God is coming up for you.
King Be the God is coming. It's on the way.
The 1K album is coming.
The 1K album. Definitely excited for it. Definitely ready for it. Definitely.
Man, I'm excited. I know the kids tired of hearing it. What the world ain't heard it yet.
The world ain't heard it yet. So everybody's heard it. I've heard it. Rob's heard it.
Right.
It's a bunch of people that's heard it. You don't need those yes men. Why don't you do like a listening party and then like whatever they say, that's what you go with.
If you really say we can do it on your platform, we can do it on OnSight.
We can do it on the OnSight platform. Oh, that would be an exclusive.
Right.
That would be an exclusive. We should definitely make that.
We can make it a big deal.
We can make that a big deal.
We can do some of the records live.
Yo.
Some of the records that deserve that, like Legacy and all those.
Heard it. You know what? Actually, I did one of your records. I went and did a Facebook Live on the Crazy record. As a matter of fact, I did.
Okay.
We did a live on the Crazy record, and it got a lot of love. So, you know, if you see targeted streams coming from the Sanford, North Carolina area,
did hear me. You hit me up and said you see a lot of streams. Yeah, I'm gonna check my stats.
Yeah. A lot of love.
Man, ain't been nothing but love coming from you anyway, bro.
I mean, you know, I'm a big supporter. Like, everybody likes what they like.
Bro, you should just run that clip of when you whispered in my ear and said, 2009, said, anything you need, bro.
Well, yeah.
I got you. You said that in 2009, and boy, have you exceeded. It wasn't no expectations at all.
No, there were no expectations. It was just, I think this is another example of how the universe can really manifest and place people in your network, in your life, for a specific reason. And it's up to us to figure out what that reason is, what that lesson is, to either learn from it or gain with, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm articulating this right.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that, bro. And we've definitely been rocking for the last, 13, 14 years. It's been a long time, and we put in some beautiful work, and it's going to continue to grow.
Facts, man. It feels good when you have somebody, you know, that understands you. At the same time, not a yes man neither. They're going to tell you when you're right, when you're wrong, when you both, you BSing and all of that. I ain't going to cuss you in the format. But it just feels good, man, when you don't have to even think, all right, he got me. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. Right. Bro got me too. You know what I mean? It's like we the last of Mohicans in both of our camps. How does that happen?
Right.
That we're still connected. If I wanted to, I can't call some of the people that I came up with. I'm super grown now, so whatever we had a problem with back then, I do not have a problem with now. We were young, bro. We say dumb things, do dumb things, you know what I mean? But shout out to everybody in both camps, man, over the years that grew with us, you know what I mean? The good times and the bad. I won't take none of it back or etch anybody out of history, man. Everything happened for a reason, the way it was supposed to happen, and I'm grateful.